you.
Okay. What were you saying?
Can you hear me better?
Yeah. No, but... Okay.
Okay.
So what were you saying?
I freaked out about the doctor because he's right there. I don't have anybody right yet.
No. Don't talk about the doctor. Don't talk about the doctor. Talk about the girl, Michelle. What happened?
What happened? She kept making all kinds of comments. Huh?
You basically tried to set up sex with her, and what, she didn't show up?
No, she did. She showed up. She said I didn't show up, and I didn't.
So, but you had a sexually charged discussion with someone else on the internet?
No, I didn't have a sexual. It wasn't really a sexual discussion. She just continuously said shit. And
what did I ask you on Monday?
Tired of her talking sexually. Huh?
What did I ask you on Monday?
I don't remember.
I asked you if you'd ever talked to her.
And I said no.
So I guess you've broken.
Because I wasn't ready to answer that question yet. Because I wanted to tell you about it.
So I'm supposed to believe that if I had never said anything, you would have just randomly one day told me.
Yep.
And I'm really supposed to believe that? I think the only reason you're telling me now is because there might be something out there about it. I don't know, but I mean, I think there must be something out there about it, which is why you're telling me now.
Yeah. All right, let me tell you something.
What?
I'm gonna read an email to you.
What?
I'm gonna read an email to you.
Okay. But, I mean, aside from this email that you're about to read, I think that there must be something out there regarding you and Michelle Simpson, or should I say Michelle Simpson Armstrong, that you assume that I will find, and so that's why you're kind of telling me the light version of this.
No, she tried to put a conversation that I had with her. She tried to put that on YouTube, and YouTube took it down.
That doesn't mean she can't put it back.
They'll just take it down again. They'll take it down for a reason.
The question is, would they take it down before I found it?
What, you've seen it?
No, I'm saying, would they take it, if they put it up, would they take it down before I find it?
Probably.
YouTube is not.
You're not on the internet all the time, are you?
YouTube is not sitting there waiting for her to post it.
You're not on the internet all the time, are you?
What does my internet usage have to do with you having a sexually charged conversation with Michelle Simpson?
Because if you're on the internet all the time, you might. She tried to put it up again. Maybe you'd be able to catch it.
And so, maybe I catch it, and then what?
You want me to read some of this to you?
I'm not interested in an email because I'm really not interested in the email. You don't have to read it. I'm just saying that you.
This is from a lady that is telling me things.
Why am I interested in an email when I'm discussing this with you in regards to a girl who you have?
Because she says the girlfriend is also a cat. Because she says your girlfriend is also a catfish who is most likely gathering information on you. It does not give a name, but it seems to be someone who has shared this with a couple of people, but not the group in general. Given everything else going on, this statement is highly credible. until you meet her and spend several days together, you might want to consider what you choose to share with her.
Okay, and what does that mean?
She's talking about you.
Okay, well, a lot of people have talked about me.
I want to know if what she's saying is true.
Lorne, see, this is what you're doing. You're doing something that a friend of mine does. What you're doing is you're being confronted about something that you did, and now you're trying to turn it around on me and say, well, you did this, or...
No, I mean, I
or you doing
I told you I was straight. I told you I was straight what I did.
And so now I'm trying to understand why.
Anyway, I just wouldn't, weren't ready to tell you at the time.
Lorne, let me tell you the truth. I will never believe, Lorne, listen to me. Let me save you some breath. I will never believe that you were going to just come to me one day and say, yeah, I had a sexually charged conversation with Michelle. I will never believe that. I will never believe that, because unless there was something out there that you did not want me to see that's on the internet, and it must be something out there that you think that I'm going to find that you think that I'm going to find that's on the internet.
No, it's because I told you I would never lie to you.
But Lorne, you did lie. You're saying that you haven't lied since.
Yeah, but I weren't ready to tell you Monday.
But Lorne, a lie is a lie, regardless of why you did it or what you were ready for or not. I asked you last week, or I'm not last week. I asked you on Monday, had you ever had a sexually charged conversation with Michelle? Have you ever talked to her? I asked you those two questions. You said no. That is a lie. Do you understand how this whole lie thing works? I'm not sure your definition of it, but a lie is basically when...
I understand. I'm not stupid.
Okay, so then why are you talking this bullshit about you haven't lied since you were 11?
And, other than little white lies. And that was something that I didn't...
Lorne, it doesn't matter what color they are. They're lies. I mean, you can color them white, pink, purple, sky blue. It's still a lie. And you are very stressed out right now.
Yeah, I am.
Everything in your life is falling apart. I think... Are you crying?
Yes.
Why?
Because everything is fucked up right now.
Lorne,
I don't want me and you being fucked up. I just want to know that you're real with me, man.
Lorne, if you're real with me, you're the one who's having a sexually charged conversation.
It's because she wouldn't stop saying shit in the comment section. Now you're tired of it, so I knew what she was doing.
But you couldn't
She's
block
not the first one to do that.
Ember? You couldn't block her like you said you blocked Ember? Lorne, Lorne, let me tell you something. I'm going to be bold and I'm going to be brazen with you. Okay? I'm a lot smarter than you are. And what you're telling me... what you're telling me right now does not pass. What?
Don't even start thinking I'm stupid.
Did I say you were stupid?
Everybody seems to think they're a lot smarter than me. It's awful funny how everybody else thinks they turn around and do stupid shit to other people.
Lorne, you have a girlfriend, and yet... Lorne, listen to me. Okay, listen to this, okay? You have a girlfriend who lives hundreds of miles away from you in a different part of the country, and yet you can't cheat on her and have her not find out? You can't do that? But yet you're...
I'm not going to.
You're not going to what?
I'm not going to. to cheat on you. I never have. I never
You're having sexually charged conversations with women online and inviting them to your house, and you expect that, and you're saying
I didn't show up to meet her.
You had a sexually charged conversation with her, and she.
Because I knew what she was doing.
So unlike blocking her like you did with Ember and Betsy and other people who you've told me that you blocked, unlike doing that, you decided to have a sexually charged phone conversation with her. Lorne, again.
I didn't have a sexually charged phone conversation
Lorne,
with her.
Again, come on. Let's not
want to talk sex to her.
Lorne, let's not spin this. Let's not spin the details of this. I live hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and that's my alarm. I live hundreds and hundreds of miles away from you, and yet you can't manage to have this rendezvous in a way that I don't find out? Really? And who knows if you've done it before and with people who I will never find out about, but the fact is that I found out about this one.
And the fact is we've never done it before.
You've never done it
before. You can say you don't.
But Lorne,
you can say that, how can you believe me and all that stuff? I believe me, and I've never done it before.
Lorne, but how do I know that's the case when you sit here having...
Because I would have told you.
But Lorne,
eventually I would have told you.
Me, and you had some kind of stipulation about when you wanted to do it and all this other stuff.
Well, I wasn't going to wait very long before I did do it. I knew that.
Lorne.
So I wasn't ready to tell you then.
Lorne, so I'm supposed to believe... I am supposed to believe that you randomly one day would have said, oh, yeah, let me tell you, I had a sexually charged conversation with Michelle. Something that you knew could end our relationship. You decided that you would tell me one day and risk ruining the relation and risk causing the end of the relationship because you... I mean, Lorne, are you hearing that? What reason do I have to believe that you would have done that? And what reason would you have had to do that?
Because you're the only thing that's been honest with me.
Okay, that doesn't mean you're going to be honest with me. I
want you to know.
Say again?
I want to be honest with you. I want you to know. I want you to know what I did.
But you, quote, weren't ready to tell me about it, and so...
I wasn't ready to tell you on Monday. I had my job on my mind on Monday.
And so when did this conversation take place? Because that's something that I assume would be... I assume is probably out there. If conversations about this is out there, then I assume that if conversations about this is out there, then I assume that as well as conversations, the time stamp of when this happened is out there. So this could have been 2 months ago, this could have been a month ago, this could have been 3 months ago, and so I'm supposed to believe that something that happened 2 months ago, 2 full months ago, you were going to tell me one day? What?
It was last week.
Oh, it happened last week.
Yes. Told you I wasn't wait long to tell you things. And Monday certainly wasn't the day for me to tell you anything.
Say again?
Crap. Monday certainly wasn't the day for me to tell you anything, because my mind wasn't there to be able to tell you anything.
I need you to speak louder, because I cannot hear you.
On my bill.
I need you to speak louder and stop mumbling, because I cannot hear you.
I said I told you I wasn't going to wait long to tell you anything. Monday was not the day for me to tell you, because I had the job on my mind. And my truck, and fucking every other fucking thing around the corner.
And so I guess once everything was fixed and once you became this millionaire or something, that...
Millionaire? Yeah. Well, far from a fucking millionaire.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. That you were just going to one day tell me something that could cause me to break up with you.
I had to.
Lorne.
You didn't want to keep anything from... I've never kept anything from you, and I didn't want to start.
Which it's interesting enough, because you still talk about Paula, the girl who cheated on you when you were how old?
Yeah, when I was 25.
What?
When I was 25.
So you were 25. And...
When I was 25. And that still hurts me today.
Paula cheating on you still hurts you?
Yeah, because I gave her all my trucks.
And you were ready to cheat on somebody else?
Oh, that company. But no, I wasn't ready to cheat on you. I wasn't going down there, and I knew what she was doing.
Well, see,
I wasn't going to meet her.
Well, see, what's interesting is that you... And if you knew what she was doing, then why wouldn't you tell me to get me in on the laughing game? You know, hey, this girl thinks that I'm going to meet her for sex. I'm not going to. Let me tell you what's been said. But,
because you're already starting.
Wait, you're cutting out. What?
Because you're already starting to concern about.
Oh, so someone who you say that your girlfriend was concerned about, you decided to take off the internet rather than blocking her. Rather than blocking her, like you did with your supposed former best friend who... You say that you never tried to sleep with or hook up with Emma, and you're...
I never tried to hook up with Emma. She's fucking married. She has a kid.
And you're... What?
So she can't even think straight of what she's doing. What she did.
But you had no problems blocking her, but someone who you say that your girlfriend was threatened by, you decided to take off the internet and start talking to her.
I was wrong in doing that, and I know it. And I wanted you to know that what I did. They didn't want to keep it from me.
Well, Lorne, I am a little bit annoyed at you right now. And because I'm annoyed, I'm going to let the truth come out.
What's true?
I don't think you're going to make any money off that community. I really don't. I think you might have a couple people buying your voice, but I don't think people are going to buy t-shirts. I don't think people are going to buy songs. I don't think they're going to do that. And I'm not saying that to be mean because, you know, I'm devastated and hurt by what you did. I'm saying that to be honest. And I didn't want to say it before because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but now I really don't care. I don't think you're going to make any money. You can try, but I don't think you will. I've seen in your comments...
I wanted you to be honest with me.
What?
I wanted you to tell me the truth. I wanted you to tell me the truth.
Yeah. Now that you have me mega annoyed with you, I'm telling you the truth in that I would not try to do anything more than sell my voice to people because they're just not going to buy it. And I've seen, and I've come to that after reading the comments because a lot of people think you're a joke.
Is what you really believe?
I genuinely do not think people are going to buy t-shirts with your face on them and t-shirts with the saying that you have with your buddy on them. I genuinely do not believe that, and screen printing is expensive.
Do you think I should let my YouTube channel go?
No, I don't think you should let your YouTube channel go. I think it can make you money, and I think that there are people who are supporting you and who do like hearing from you. So no, I don't think you should let that go. And I also think that you should probably try to sell your voice, but as far as t-shirts and stuff, people are not that obsessed.
So my songs, I should sell them?
I think you should sell them to people. I think you should sell those to people. I don't know how, like via the voicemail or whatever. But no, I just don't think t-shirts is going to work. That's all I'm saying.
I was asking. I wanted you.
Well, I was not willing to tell you until you annoyed me. Because, see, here's the thing. Now, I still don't know what the truth is. And so, maybe I'm going to have to message her.
You know what the truth is.
What?
You know what the truth is.
How do I know what the truth is?
Because I just told you.
Now, of course, the question is raised, why would you do that? And seeing as how jealous you get when it comes to the doctor.
I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I can't give you a reason for why I did it. I don't know. Because
now you can't say shit to me about the doctor.
Well, she's not right here.
But she was coming here, and she said she lived in Maine. You said she lived in Maine.
The doctor is spending nights over your house.
Listen, you said she lived in Maine. She said that she lived in Maine, you said. And so she is right there. How is she not right there? She lives right there.
Yeah, I've never met her. How do I know she's in Maine? The phone number was a Google number from the computer. Anybody can do that from anywhere in the world.
I have never engaged in a sexually charged discussion with the doctor. I knew the doctor before I knew you. And he hangs out with my brother. But you proclaim to be this person who would never do these things that you're saying, and you've kind of just gotten caught in another lie because you're saying, I would never do that to you, I would never do that to you, and yet you did do that.
No, I didn't. I never went to meet her.
You had a sexually charged conversation with her. And for all I know, she could be the person who you were supposed to meet at Circle K. She is, isn't she?
How do you know I was supposed to live in Circle K?
You told me that there was someone who was going to buy a guitar from you at Circle K.
That was a long time ago, and that was that guy that I showed you emails and stuff. That's him. I've never seen that girl's pussy. Have you ever seen the boxer's tank?
Oh, you've never seen the pussy of someone who you haven't met but who you tried to meet versus the doctor having a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, that's real comparable.
I did wrong, and I wanted to tell you.
The problem is that you didn't tell me.
Well, I did tell you. I didn't wait a month. I didn't even wait a week to tell you.
You did wait a week to tell me because you didn't tell me until I started guessing.
No.
There is some reason behind why you did that. As I said, you had no problem blocking Ember. You had no problem blocking the lady that you owe thousands of dollars to. But a girl who's sexually charged talking to you in the comments, you suddenly cannot block?
No, she's blocked now.
Yeah, she's blocked because you're afraid that she's going to come back and tell me something. That's the only reason she's blocked. She's not blocked because you didn't want her speaking that way to you. She's blocked because you're afraid that she has information that she's going to bring back to me.
No. What this person is, you sent me this email is telling.
What?
What about the stuff this person in this email is told?
No. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I haven't seen this email, and considering the fact that we've already caught you in a few lies,
I want to know if you're serious about
that
me.
could be.
I want to know if you're serious.
Lorne, listen to me. That email is not irrelevant because, as I said, considering the fact that we've caught you in a few lies, that email could be fake and something that you made up. So, we're not going to pretend. What?
It could be, but it's not.
I mean, it could be fake from you. So that, it could be no email and it's just something that you've made up. So, we're not going to sit here and pretend that,
I'll take a picture of the email.
Yeah, and Lorne, you could have gotten an email address and written the thing and sent it to yourself. I mean, so come on. Let's not pretend like that email is bigger than you having a sexually charged chat with someone who could be a minor.
Would you like me to send you the whole email? Then you can email this person.
And then it could be you and you email me back. Lorne, come on.
How the hell am I going to send an email to myself?
Lorne, you know that you can have more than one email address.
And I don't.
But how do I know that? You've already been caught in some lies. How do I know you don't have 30 emails?
I just told you I do have more than one email, but I don't remember what the other ones are.
You just said you don't have more than one email.
This is the only one that I use because this is the only one that I remember the password to.
Lorne, let's not play games, okay?
Even the one I gave Mitchell, I had getting this one here before because I couldn't remember my password to the other ones. I had to write 3 different emails down on my monthly report before, and then I couldn't remember what the password was for like 2 of them. This one here I remember. So I just stopped using the other ones and kept using this one.
Okay, Lorne, all that sounds lovely, but there is no way for me to validate the authenticity of those emails.
my name's not Patty. So.
I didn't ask what your name is. Lorne.
Yeah, it's a black lady named Patty.
Lorne.
That's who sent me the email.
So is it your sibling's fault that your relationship with me is crumbling?
No. Why would you say that?
I'm asking you because, you say it's their fault for this thing and their fault for the way things are in your life. I was just asking that.
No. What do you mean my relationship with you is crumbling? Are we crumbling?
Well, Lorne, what do you call it when I've caught you in a lie? You've done something that you said that you never would do ever, ever, ever as long as you live. And you have had a sexually charged chat with someone who's online and tried to set up a meeting. What do you call that? How was our relationship?
I didn't go to meet her.
What?
I wanted to tell you about it.
Lorne, it's not about telling me. Lorne, it's not about telling me about it. It's about why you did it.
What about the stuff that this lady sent to me?
What?
You're avoiding answering anything that she said in that email.
Lorne, I'm not talking about this email. The reason why I'm not talking about this email...
Yeah, but I have questions for you, too, I want to know if you're serious about me.
Lorne, we have caught you...
I want to turn it around on me.
Lorne,
No. You're not going to turn it around on me.
Lorne.
That's questions that I've asked you right from the beginning.
Okay, and my answer
I've been
satisfied you.
so honest with you about everything. I've not held anything back from you. That's why I wanted to tell you about that.
Lorne, you
know that I have not held anything back from you at all.
Lorne, you held this back.
So I told you more about me than you told me about you.
Lorne, you're doing it again.
You won't even tell me your birthday.
You're doing it again. You are doing it again.
You won't even tell me your birthday.
Lorne.
Why wouldn't you tell me your birthday?
Are you going to let me finish what I was saying? I'd like to finish what I was saying and not have you talk over me. Lorne, you have done something and been caught. And you are now going to say, well, it's all excused because some lady sent me some email and said X, Y, and Z. Are you really saying that? Are you saying that what you did is excusable because of some email that some lady sent you?
No, it's not excusable.
Okay, so then why are we talking about an email that you said some lady sent you? Why are you trying to talk about an email that you said some lady sent you when I caught you having a sexually charged conversation with someone from the internet who you could have simply blocked and been done with it?
Because what she's saying is that you are from the internet and having videos out there about me.
No, nobody said that because that's bullshit. I have no videos out there.
That's basically what she's saying. You want me to read it to you again?
No, I don't want you to read it to me again because what you're doing is you're trying to use that to deflect from what you have been caught doing. You're trying to use that to deflect.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are, because rather than talking about the issue with Michelle, you're saying, well, some lady said this in an email. That's what you're doing.
No, it is not.
That is exactly what you're doing. You do not take responsibility for the things you've done. You have never taken responsibility for the things that you do.
Yeah, I have.
When have you taken...
Nobody else can take responsibility for anything they do.
No. See, there you go again. Well, Lorne, you've never taken responsibility. Well, neither has anybody else.
Everybody tells me how I never take responsibility for things that I do.
Lorne,
I take responsibility. They never take responsibility for anything they do.
Living in Maine without a job. Everybody is not under that circumstance, okay?
Even when I still haven't lost my job yet, so I still got a job.
Lorne, but you haven't worked in over...
I don't know if I'm moving in or not. So what? I'm a registered sex offender. You mention that all the time.
I do not mention that all the time.
How am I going to get a job being a sexual offender?
I do not mention that all the time. I mentioned it yesterday. What?
You do mention it all the time.
I do not mention that all the time. You mention my race all the time. I do not mention you being a registered sex offender all the time. I don't even mention it every week or every month. You have failed, this whole conversation, you have failed to take any responsibility for anything you have done. I tell you that I caught you having a sexually charged conversation with a Michelle Simpson. You say, well, I knew what she was doing. I caught you trying to set up an arrangement to meet her. Well, I wasn't going to meet her. I set up the appointment, but yeah, I wasn't going to meet her. I said, well, how does this make you what?
I didn't go.
I said,
I wasn't going to meet her. I didn't go.
I said, how does all of this mean that our relationship isn't crumbling? Well, some lady sent me an email and she said X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, well, because I want to know about it.
No, I want to know about what
I don't want our relationship to crumble, but I'm not going to. I don't want to believe what this lady's telling me.
You don't want to believe what a person on the internet is telling you.
She's the one that told me that they put it that Michelle Simpson put that on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do we know that email's not coming from Michelle Simpson?
Well, because I can go right back to the first one that she sent me.
Oh, really?
She sent me 1, 2, 3.
Because emails are fingerprinted, and you can tell that lady's fingerprints do not match the fingerprints of Michelle Simpson.
Huh?
Okay, I'll repeat that. Because fingerprints because emails are fingerprinted, and you can tell that those emails don't match the fingerprints of Michelle Simpson. That's how you know?
Well, she said she works for some lawyer.
Lorne, but the problem here is that you are not taking any responsibility for what you've done.
I'm taking responsibility for it. I told you.
You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me until I found out, Lorne. You did not.
I didn't tell you Monday.
Lorne, don't pick and choose. Well, I didn't.
I don't think it was even Monday that you asked me because I was
Lorne.
Working on my truck to Tony Monday.
Lorne, do not.
He was on the phone with me all day Monday.
Lorne, are you seriously trying to pick and choose whether or not you were being honest or not based on, well, you didn't want to tell me because you were having job issues? Are you for real? Like, are you serious?
I didn't.
Are you serious? You're trying to say...
I knew what was going on.
Lorne, okay, you knew what was going on. You engaged in it, Lorne?
Yeah, you've done it. You was on the phone with me even when I was over with Tony and Wendy.
Okay, I didn't say I wasn't.
Figure out what the hell I was doing.
Lorne. If I meet a guy in a bar who wants to sleep with me and I go back to his apartment and I sleep with him and then say, oh, well, I know what he was doing... What sense does that make? Okay, if you know what he's doing, then you ignore it. Or in the case of Michelle, if you know what she's doing and you don't want to be a part of it, you push the Ember button. The button that blocked Ember, the button that blocked Betsy. You blocked one person.
I should have blocked.
You blocked one person who was your best friend you blocked one person who was your best friend who sent you gifts, and you blocked another person who you owe a lot of money to. But you couldn't block someone who was trying to engage in a sexually charged conversation with you. And not only did you not block her, you took it off the internet. You took her from YouTube to your phone.
I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry.
And the problem is that every single weekend and most days, I hear some garbage about the doctor. The doctor's right there. Well, so so's Michelle. So, I mean, we can't use that one anymore.
Well, he is right there.
And so's Michelle. You tried to meet her.
Huh?
You tried.
Michelle's not right here. I don't see her. I don't see Michelle. I don't know what Michelle looks like.
Okay, you didn't know what she looked like, but you still had a sexually charged conversation with her? The king of homophobes...
You didn't answer me the other day when I asked you if you were on a date with a doctor either.
You, the king of homosexual people... you are the king of homophobes. You are the most homophobic person I've ever met. And you had a sexually charged conversation with someone who could have been stroking his dick, pretending to be a female talking to you.
I don't know how to have a sexually charged conversation with. She had a sexually charged conversation. I did not.
She cannot have a sexually charged conversation by herself. It would sound like...
She seemed to do pretty good in the comment section.
No. She was saying sexually charged things to you, and then you took it off of the internet. See, right now you're defending against what you did. So, I mean, I'm saying, like, okay, let's say that this thing with us doesn't work out, because right now it's not looking too good. Why would another woman be able to trust you, Lorne?
I don't want another woman, I want you.
I can't hear you.
I said I don't want another woman, I want you.
Okay, but
I don't want to hide things from you.
I can't hear you, please.
That's why I told you about this.
Lord, you did not tell me about this. Lord, you did not tell me about this.
Yes, I did. I told you about it.
How are you going to
You might have asked me about it, but I told you.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. Let me give you a parallel example. That's brilliant. So that's like if I'm a kid and my report card is coming and I got all F's on my report card, and I tell my parents, Mom, Dad, my report card's coming, I got all F's. Well, you can't be mad at me, Mom, Dad, because I told you that I got all F's. Yeah, the report card was coming, so they were going to find out. Apparently, all this information is out there, so I was going to find out. And I was already asking you questions. Just because you didn't completely deny it today does not absolve you from the responsibility of your lies. So again, one must wonder, why would you do it?
I was wrong in what I did. I'm sorry.
And why, and because I'm really concerned, and this is what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned that one day you're going to get with another lady, with another woman, and because, like I said, this us is not looking good right now. I'm concerned that you're going to get with someone who doesn't know that you do this, and you're going to end up hurting someone. And I really don't want that to happen.
I did this, and I was wrong to do it.
Lorne, please stop calling. I cannot hear you.
To be honest, I said I don't do this.
But
I did this, and I wanted to be honest with you. I didn't want to hold anything back from you. I wanted to make sure I was honest with you about it.
But Lorne, you did do this, and I don't even know if you're being honest about the date. Because if I find it online, and I find that there was a conversation that was uploaded 2 months ago, then that's another lie. And an even bigger lie.
Oh, you're not going to find anything 2 months ago. You're not going to find anything from any other time.
Lorne, don't tell me what I'm going to find and what I'm not going to find. I mean, because I was not expecting
I know
to
what you're going to find. You're not going to find anything that I had.
As I was saying, because I was not expecting to find that you had a sexually charged conversation with someone who you said you were disgusted by. Oh, I'm disgusted because they're using my last name. That's my last name. In reference to Michelle Simpson Armstrong.
I am disgusted about it.
Oh, well, you're not so disgusted that you blocked her. You're not so disgusted that you blocked her.
Oh, I should have. I'm sorry, I didn't. If you want me to get off YouTube right now, I'll shut my channel down.
Lorne, first of all, you're not going to shut your channel down. Second of all, I did not ask you to do that.
Why wouldn't I?
What? Lorne, see, you never... Lorne, listen to me. Why would you shut your channel down that you've made $12.68?
Because you mean more to me than...
Okay,
You mean more to me than that friggin' pennies that making all that. I'm not worried about that. I don't care about that.
You would shut your channel down, but you wouldn't block someone who was talking to you sexually in the comments. I'm mind-boggled by the logic.
I did that, and I'm disgusted at myself for doing that. That's why I would shut my channel down. If that's what you want me to do, I'll do it.
Lorne.
I don't care about that. I care about you.
Lorne, I did not ask you to shut your channel down. I don't think you would do it. I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should do it. If you have that much of a problem...
Don't think that I wouldn't do it because I would do it.
Lorne, if you have that much of a problem saying no to random women online that you need to shut down an entire YouTube channel with hundreds of hours of videos on it, well, I don't know if it's hundreds of hours, but you know what I mean, that you would shut down a YouTube channel instead of just blocking someone if they're talking sexually to you, what kind of logic is that?
Because I don't care about the internet. I care about you. What you feel and how you feel. That's all I care about. I did wrong and I don't want to hurt you. Do that to you again. And I don't want you to have to think, am I doing it again?
Well, why wouldn't I think, are you doing it again?
Because I'm still on the internet.
Lorne.
I don't want you to think just because I'm on the internet that I'm doing that. I don't care about the internet.
So you weren't having these thoughts prior to this whole thing?
No, I wasn't.
I mean, this is just fascinating. I'm not joking even a little bit. I will shut that internet right down, my YouTube channel right down. I don't care. I care about you. You just tell me the word and I'll get off it. What does it matter what I think? I mean, I'm just someone to keep you occupied until Michelle Simpson Armstrong comes over.
No, that's what I don't want. I don't want you worrying about that. I don't want you thinking about it. That's why I get off the internet. I don't care.
Lorne, your self-control is that low? Like, your sense of responsibility is that non-existent? Lorne, that's...
No, it's not about... I care about what's in your mind.
Lorne, nothing would have been in my mind had you blocked her or had you not have engaged in that kind of conversation. But I do know that every time you got mad, you would... I do know that every time you got mad, you would throw Michelle and Katie up in my face. Katie, whose last name begins with a Z, I don't know how you pronounce it.
I've never talked to Katie at all, except in the comment section.
Well, that's amazing that there is a person who might have a vagina on your YouTube channel who you have not talked to sexually outside of...
That's most of them.
Oh, thank you. Most of them.
I was going to say, let them say hello and stuff like that in the comment section, and everybody can say it.
Well, I shall be so flattered that you haven't tried to solicit sex from all the women on your YouTube channel. You talked about kids watching your YouTube channel and how you think kids watch your YouTube channel. How do you know that any of these, Michelle Simpson Armstrong or Katie, whatever her name is, how do you know that these are women of legal age?
Well, I don't talk sexually to them. I can't stop them from going in the comment section. I don't know.
But you talk sexually with Michelle, and you tried to set up an appointment with her, a meeting with her, and you don't know if this is someone who just turned 16, just got her driver's license, and knows that based on your internet presence that you have taken an interest in children before in a sexual way. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like,
I weren't going. I know what you're saying. But I knew I wasn't going to meet her.
But Lorne, see, the problem with that is that you set up a meeting. You might have gotten cold feet at the end, but you set up a meeting.
I didn't get cold feet at the end. I didn't get cold feet at the beginning. I wasn't going to meet her. I knew I wasn't going to meet her.
But you set up a meeting. That's the crux in all of this, is that you set the meeting up.
Yeah, because people like to fuck around on the internet, play games. So that's very much.
And so people, quote, fuck around on the internet. See the problem, one of the big problems with this, and would I have agreed to you doing it if you had told me? It's like, the problem with this is that you set the meeting up, you did all this stuff, you didn't tell me. Now, would I have told you, no, you probably shouldn't be having sexually charged conversations with women on the internet, even if you're trying to exploit them? Yeah, there's a good chance I would have said that. But the problem is that you didn't tell me. Well, that's one of the problems.
No, I'm sorry. I should have told you. I just didn't, because you were so upset about her. I didn't want to mention her name.
I mean, so someone who your girlfriend's upset about, rather than just blocking them, you...
That's what I should have done.
What?
That's what I should have done.
You didn't even have to take her off your YouTube channel. All you had to do was ignore her. Hit ignore so that you don't see her comments. Because I've said before, and I still say that you shouldn't be blocking people from your YouTube channel. If you don't want to see what they say, if they're talking sexually to you, maybe you would want to consider just ignoring them. Just hit ignore.
And somebody sent me a message in my YouTube channel again. Ask me to go and see it. How can they send me a picture of the pussy? I just don't want you to. He said, you can't. I'm trying to go to YouTube right now so I can hear.
I'm just incensed by all this. It's just amazing.
I'm sorry I'm not perfect and I messed up.
Lorne, most of us aren't perfect, but most of us aren't soliciting sex online and doing those things. Not being perfect means you're making lunch and you accidentally spill the soup. That's not being perfect. Spilling the soup and essentially cheating on your girlfriend are two completely different things.
Oh, I didn't cheat on you.
What's your definition of cheat?
I had no intention of going to meet her. You know, I shouldn't have even talked to her. In that sense, I did cheat on you, and I'm sorry. And I know what your next response is. I'll try to say this. Just hope you believe me. I'm never going to do that to you again. I'm never going to talk to another girl like in that manner again.
So you had to do it once to learn the lesson that you shouldn't do it anymore?
I shouldn't have even done it the first time. And that's what I don't understand why I don't.
What?
I don't understand why I did it, because I didn't want to do it to begin with.
You didn't want to do it.
No, I did.
But you did it. And honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter what you wanted. The fact is that you did it. I mean, that's like if I go out, if I go out and I like run over someone intentionally with my car, and I'm like, I don't know why I did it. I didn't even want to do it. That doesn't absolve me from the responsibility of murdering someone.
I know. I can promise you I'm never going to do it again.
Lorne, I don't know if you're going to have a chance to do it with me again, because I don't know what this is going to turn into or turn out to.
Well, are you going to break up with me?
Why shouldn't I? I want to hear that.
And now that's all I've got to say.
Well, yell at me, why don't you?
Mwah. That little white piece of shit is still shit.